There are people whose presence feels like a storm. They enter a room and drain the air from it, leaving silence heavy and hearts uneasy. Some wound with words, others with silence, some smile while they poison, and yet they are everywhere, in our homes, in our workplaces, sometimes even in our own mirrors. We cannot control their nature, but we can master our response, because the one who rules himself cannot be ruled by another. 1. Begin with the fortress of the mind. When morning breaks, we must build the fortress before the battle begins. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Toxic people thrive on reaction. They feed on chaos, on the emotional energy we spill when we lose our composure. So the first habit is this: prepare the mind before exposure. Before we face the world, we remind ourselves, not everyone we meet will be rational, kind, or honest. Some will provoke, deceive, or betray. But none of this is new. It has always been this way since the dawn of humankind. We do not armor ourselves in bitterness, but in understanding. For the one who expects the arrow is never struck by surprise. So each morning, as we rise, we tell ourselves, "I will meet people who are difficult, ignorant, or cruel, but I will not let them dictate who I become." This is not pessimism, it is preparation, and preparation is peace. 2. Master the art of indifference. When venom is thrown your way, do not drink it. Epictetus warned us, when someone provokes you, remember that it is your opinion that you are harmed. No one truly wounds us unless we hand them the blade. Toxic individuals thrive when they sense they can control your inner world, when your calm breaks, when your emotions tremble in their hands. So we practice the art of sacred indifference, not coldness, not apathy, but detachment, the refusal to let another's chaos enter your bloodstream. Imagine their words as wind against stone. Let them pass, let them fall. We remind ourselves their anger is their burden, their manipulation, their weakness, their noise, their inner conflict echoing outward. And in silence we win, not by retaliation, but by restraint. 3. Set boundaries without bitterness. There is a myth that to be calm is to be passive. It is not. Seneca wrote, "A sword never blunts the hand that holds it with purpose." We can be both kind and unyielding, compassionate yet immovable. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates that guard our peace. We decide who enters, we decide who stays. When dealing with the toxic, we draw the line not in anger, but in self-respect. We do not beg for understanding, we do not justify our peace. We simply say through action, if not through words, "This far, no further." Boundaries remind us that self-control does not mean enduring abuse. It means protecting the conditions that allow virtue to grow. To say no without guilt is an act of strength. To walk away without hate is mastery. 4. Turn the mirror inward. It is tempting to make a study of others' flaws, to call them toxic and feel righteous in our pain, but true mastery demands honesty with the self. How often have we too spoken from ego rather than reason? How often have we projected our unrest onto others, or sought control through silence, pride, or guilt? Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, what is my duty as a human being? Before we judge, we examine. Before we accuse, we reflect. The toxic may indeed exist, but sometimes their reflection is a warning, not a curse. They show us the parts of ourselves still chained by anger, fear, and vanity. So we use their behavior as fuel for growth. Every insult becomes a chance to strengthen our composure. Every manipulation, an opportunity to sharpen discernment. Every disappointment, a lesson in detachment. We do not run from them, we rise because of them. 5. Respond with reason, not emotion. When others lose control, we must not join them in their collapse. Seneca wrote, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." The toxic person's greatest victory is not in what they say, but in what they make you become. Their chaos seeks company. Your reaction is their triumph. So we slow down, we breathe before we speak, we delay our response until reason returns to the throne. It may take practice. The first time you hold your tongue when insulted, you'll feel the fire burning behind your ribs. That fire is your ego demanding satisfaction, but satisfaction is not peace. Over time, the silence that once felt like defeat becomes power. You realize that true dominance is calmness under fire. The one who controls their emotions controls every battlefield. 6. Choose distance and discipline over drama. Some people cannot be saved from their own storms. You cannot reason with those committed to misunderstanding you. Epictetus said, "Avoid fraternizing with people who are not likely to improve you, not because we are superior, but because the company we keep shapes the character we become." There is no virtue in staying where our peace is constantly poisoned. Distance, when necessary, is not cruelty, it is wisdom. To walk away is not to abandon, it is to preserve. It is the act of recognizing that your energy is finite, your time precious, your soul sacred. Let the toxic live in their tempest. We are meant to live in clarity, not confusion, in direction, not distraction. When we withdraw from noise, we regain the stillness to hear truth, and in that stillness, life begins to make sense again. The final reflection, the inner citadel. In the end, managing toxic people is not about them, it's about us. They are tests of composure, of discipline, of self-knowledge. They expose what within us is still weak, still reactive, still ungoverned. Marcus Aurelius called it the inner citadel, that sacred space within, untouchable by the outside world. That is what we are building every time we rise above provocation, every time we choose calm over chaos. We cannot purify the world, but we can purify ourselves. We cannot silence every storm, but we can anchor so deeply that no wind can move us. Let others rage, let them twist and turn in their self-made tempests. We will remain steady, not because the world is kind, but because we have mastered the only thing that ever needed mastery, ourselves. So tomorrow, when you wake and the world begins to test you again, remember these 6 strategies. Prepare the mind, guard your peace, set your boundaries, reflect, respond with reason, and when all else fails, walk away in strength. The measure of power is not how many we conquer, but how deeply we command our own soul. If this message spoke to your inner strength, don't let it fade. Carry it into action. Subscribe, reflect, and rise above the noise. Your mastery begins within.